What's going on, y'all? It's Cam. This is the Solution Series, and I immediately want to transition into declaring and decreeing a blessing over your life going into 2024. Bro, I bind and cast out anything that is not supposed to be in your life in Jesus' name. With that said, let me know how y'all doing today down in the comments. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Enjoy the video. I hope y'all having a blessed day. The topic for today is having a watered down appreciation due to work or your focus on the future. I personally see myself as a focused individual, and I'm like that because I personally still live with my parents. I'm not ashamed to admit that. And to be honest, it's a blessing because it allows me to focus on what it is that I need to focus on. So when I am on my own, when I am assuming all responsibilities, I'd be financially capable because we live in a time where there is an abundance of opportunities. But with that comes a tunnel vision that can cost you some valuable memories. And I personally learned that, it's necessary to reset. And even in that reset, sometimes we all reset differently. Some people play video games, some people go out. In that reset, you really learn what it is that you were stuck on while you were working. And when I say work, it really depends on what work is to you. There are a lot of people that want a job, but not everybody wants to work. So when you're working and it's purpose driven, it's easy to fall into, I got to do this, I got to do that, and I have to be locked in. But when you're actually working for someone else and it's like you're striving for the weekend, like, oh, I got a vacation, it's a blessing. Like, man, like, yes, it is a blessing, but like your 6 to 10 determines your 9 to 5. And when you have that tunnel vision, you can find yourself getting burned out. You can find yourself getting frustrated. But it's necessary that you don't allow work or your focus on the future to allow you to water down the little things. People that accumulate money, I was just having this conversation. People that accumulate money and I don't want to say passive, but they're at a place where they can basically do what they want. They understand that money is a distraction. And I don't want to say that from a condescending perspective. I am not a millionaire yet, but I understand, which is something that you have to learn in order to get to that level, is money is really a distraction. Who would you be if you had all the money in the world? Now you just told yourself what your purpose is. And that's what I mean when I say that reset will actually be good for you sometimes. So if you're watching this and you feel like you've been overworked, especially if you're working for somebody else and that's not what your true passion is, you need to take a break. You need to take a moment to yourself. If you gotta get you I get pistachio gelato, sit up and watch sci-fi movies and TV shows. If that's what you gotta do that. Because you're gonna receive messages while you're watching whatever you're watching. You're gonna come back with a refreshed mind and you're gonna be able to focus. You're gonna be able to solve that issue that was stressing you in the first place. And we weren't really created to stress. We were created to just walk in what's for us and understand that obstacles are actually opportunities. And with that said, it's all about the little things. Especially if you're someone that's relatively affluent compared to other people that work regular jobs, make sure you acknowledge people. Don't be in such a rush that, you stopped and got your food from McDonald's because you didn't have time to cook breakfast. Stop what you're doing and ask the person that served you how they doing today. Like, actually stop and acknowledge them. The other day, I was leaving my mom's friend's birthday party, and the dude that was holding the door for them to walk into the little whirly ball section. We was at some spot. I'm not gonna promote him, 'cause I don't want to think that hard. But we were walking out. We were saying bye to the birthday woman or whatever, and it was the gentleman holding the door. I had stopped what I was doing. I was like, "How you doing today, bro?" He was like, he looked at me for a second. He was like, "I'm good." Bro, shook his hand and just walked off. I don't even know bro name, but like, I promise you, when you get the urge to do that, it's for a reason. I personally am growing to be a man of God, so I know it's God speaking. He like, speak to that person. And it's like, when you do that, you have a different appreciation of life. And you start to really understand why you were created. Because if you working somewhere where you hate, or you working somewhere and it's overbearing, it is not supposed to be like that. Or it is, and it's meant to teach you something. It's meant to teach you delegation. Even if you're working for someone else, like, you can still, there are things that you can do to be more efficient in what it is that you do. Now, I personally don't know what field you're in, but say, for example, I work at a title company. The closer, she has me fill out the checks and all the simple stuff that I'm qualified to do. Now, when you do that in your own business, like, yes, I still work a regular job, and I'm gonna be real, because it's not enough people on the internet that are being real. But in taking my opportunity, I learned that, like, you're where you are for a reason. It's a story in the Bible where I believe it's Joseph. His brothers sold him to Egypt, and it's like, before he was there, I believe it was called Pifter. He was an administrator under someone while he was still with his brothers. When his brothers sold him to Egypt, they had evil intent, but they didn't want to kill him. Down the line, he became the second hand. He became the right hand man of the Pharaoh. So the same skill set that he was using in administration while he was still with his brothers was what he was using when he was ruling over all of Egypt. So you don't have that connection. You don't have that, what I see is revelation, until you take a step back and assess what it is that caused the issue that you're dealing with in the first place. Because when you take that reset, you give yourself time to digest what you were already thinking about, put everything that you're already dealing with on paper, and assess a solution that tailors to each one of them efficiently. You may see something that handles all of your solutions, like delegation. You know, you may have time to sit up and watch one of my videos and you like, dang, I ain't think about that. You watching this on your break. You like, I could have so-and-so fill out the checks for me. I could have so-and-so put the stamps on instead of me doing that, and take a time away from what I really need to do, what I'm responsible for. So, you know, with that said, address people based on their character, not their status. Because first of all, that's just how it should be. And second of all, what we're all thinking, like, you never know what that person will be in the future. You never know if you will need that person in the future. You never know if that person will need you, and that will cultivate a friendship or a relationship that will bring joy to your life, that will be a part of your testimony, a part of your growing, a part of your upbringing. Like, when you address people based on their character, they see that. Like, I was like, bro, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? He may have been ready to, I don't want to speak that into existence, but he may have been in a rough place. Put it that way. So always address people based on their character. The doorman of a high-rise meets millionaires on a daily basis. So there's going to be one day where you say you a millionaire in a high-rise. You stop what you're doing. You acknowledge him. You have a conversation with him. You learn that he's a marketing genius. Now you bring him on your team, or say you the individual that is the doorman. They bring you on so focus on your value provision. They bring you on their team. Now it's like, what do you bring to the table? There are a lot of people that want to make more money, but don't focus on what's necessary to get there. And I don't want to be hypocritical. I'm going to take my own advice. It's a matter of focusing on what is being presented to you, focusing on what's already within you, what you've already been around. When you cultivate your skill set that way, when the opportunity presents itself, you will be equipped to walk into it fully. You may have imposter syndrome, but you won't be an imposter. Put it that way. You will be able to walk into it fully. Now you're flourishing. Now it seems like you got overnight success, when you the one to know it took years to develop that skill set. It took years to polish it in a way that it can be presented and monetized. Now you understand that money is a distraction. Now you acknowledge people on a daily basis because you know that's how you knew in the first place that you need to focus on what it is that you need to do to get there before the opportunity is presented. You understand the value. And on top of that, you see how it is paid off in your life. So now you know you could potentially go speak to someone that has just as much value as you had when you first started. Remember your humble beginnings. You go talk to somebody, they change your whole business. Say you groom them to change your business, you train them, they already coming in with the talent because they put the work in on their own. You groom them, they turned your company from $1 million company to a $10 million company. I guarantee you there is one person. If there are startups, if there are self-made millionaires, there is one person that can take you from an 8-figure business to a 9-figure business. You have to obtain that thought process. When you remember your humble beginnings and you humble yourself, you don't allow opportunities to fall through the cracks. That's why God is the solid foundation. You get that revelation, you know, like, that's it, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all for too long. I love y'all, bro. Take heed to what I'm saying, bro. And I personally am going to take my own advice. So y'all watch along the line, and in the comments, if y'all see I'm slacking, tell me I'm slacking. If you got a friend that you know is slacking, that you see potential in, tell them they're slacking. And tell them how they're slacking, and tell them to do the same for you, so it doesn't turn into an argument. It turns into a constructive criticism session. Bro, I love y'all. Glory be to God. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.